Yasas Kalispera, good afternoon. This is the lovely island of Skyros, and what a day. Today is, I forgot to check as usual the date and temperature, but I flew in on the 10th, was here yesterday. Today is May 12th, and it is warmish in like the 60s, maybe 70-ish Fahrenheit, around like 20 Celsius, so just a very, very pleasant afternoon with nice and clear skies, less windy than the past 2 days. Up there you can see Skyros town, or Hora, which I walked up to yesterday and made a video about, and got up to the castle up on top of the hill there. Very dramatic sight of the main town on the island. This is the Aios Nikolaos Church, or St. Nicholas Church. Very unique construction, as you can see, built straight into this rock here. And then around the corner, you have a restaurant, I guess a windmill without the mill. The lovely Aegean Sea here. Probably not the best beach on the island. Hopefully we will find out today if there are some nicer ones. Another interesting looking church there. Rental car right there. Just got it for 2 days. 30 euros per day, including all taxes, etc. Hello. Hello. So Skyros is a lesser known Greek island. It is a bit tricky to get to, but if you just fly, that makes it very, very nice and easy. So that is what I did. Flew here 2 days ago from Athens, direct flight, 45 minutes. I think it was like $87 US, something like that. I will put the price down below. And then flight to Thessaloniki in 2 days. That one was $100 even. So very reasonable and much, much easier than trying to get here by car, having to drive from Athens, get onto Evia Island, come to Kimi, take the ferry. There might be a ferry coming from Molos to the other islands of Skiathos, Skopelos, Alanissos, but I also heard that that wasn't running now. So a flight is really the best way to go. Okay, so I was thinking of walking over to that church there, but looks like it is on a little tiny island or islet. So it seems that basically what you have to see and do here on Skyros is the usual stuff. Beaches, there are churches, there are various ancient ruins, I would imagine. We have the castle that I showed yesterday, so I won't go to that again today. We'll see what else I find, but I'm sure that there will be various old ruins, a monastery, etc. So this is starting to look like it might have been a quarry. Oh yeah, look at that. Definitely, you know, carved out here as well. Interesting. So I don't know anything about this, just came across it just now. But speaking of ancient ruins, this must be evidence of either this is the sort of foundation of a building that was here, or it seems much more likely that this was a quarry area where they cut out the stones and used them to build various buildings on the island. Maybe we'll come across some buildings that look like they were built from this very quarry here. I would love to get over there. Very curious to see that church as well, but I'm sure it's, you know, similar to the other one. The usual pictures of the saints and biblical figures, etc. But it's always just kind of interesting to see the uniqueness of each little Greek church. And the same goes for the islands in general. So I understand that people will say, you know, the Greek islands really start to look the same, but each one is also unique, and perhaps it is more interesting to experience them in person for yourself, and then you pick up on kind of the subtleties of just the different atmosphere, the different characteristics, how busy they are, the unique styles of architecture, which in many cases are similar, yet can be also different, as I showed on Tinos Island, the very, very interesting dovecote buildings. So it looks like here could have been more rocks dug out, cut out from there. So just poking around here for a couple of minutes, and then let's hop in the car and go see more. But it seems like Skyros here is really about kind of the vibe, the atmosphere of being just a lot less touristy than other islands, and just a very relaxed atmosphere with you know, nice looking beaches. Not spectacular so far, but I'm sure that we will see some nicer ones, and then the classic Greek Islands village experience, the maze of the old town, etc. So let's get rocking and rolling and go see what else this lesser known island of Skyros has to offer. Let's do it. One day in the Aegean Sea of amazing Greece. So this area is known as Molos. I'm staying just a couple of minutes away. I definitely recommend staying somewhere around here. Easier access to the beaches, and you don't have to deal with the big hill getting up to Skyros town or Hora.
In 200 meters, turn left.
Unless you want to go up there. And as you can see, it is a very pleasant spot here. The Greek tourist season hasn't really begun yet, so it is very quiet, but I'm sure that it will be a lot busier later in the summer. Ancient ruins and a little Greek church right next to each other, I am contractually obligated to stop and check them out. And as you can see, a bunch more. Little building there, much bigger buildings there, and up there. And we have a goat clinging to the church. Looks kind of homey to me. These buildings could very well be quite a bit older than the church, I would expect. There you can see the airport. Hello. And a bunch more of those old buildings. More there. More goats. Let's take a peek inside. Looks open. As I said, kind of the usual images. But I always find it interesting to poke inside and take a look and just kind of feel the vibe of each little church. Let's check out these ruins here. And so on the subject of Greek islands and are they all kind of the same? Definitely not. There are 227 inhabited Greek islands. And so I think that that includes teeny tiny islands that might have just a handful of people living on them, as far as the actual number of Greek islands with a town, you know, some sort of significant population of at least a few hundred or whatever, then it's less than 227. But anyways, there are a lot of Greek islands, and they are, of course, spread all around Greece in different seas, the Aegean, the Ionian, the North Aegean, and although there is especially a similarity between the islands in different groups, the Cycladic Islands, the Dodecanese, Ionian, they will have similar landscapes and also similar styles of construction. The classic blue and white buildings is more the Cyclades Islands. There's more of an Italian influence to the Ionian Islands, but particular islands are especially unique. Santorini, for example, is certainly one of the most remarkable and unique Greek islands because of the center of the island being blown apart by a volcanic eruption in, I think, 1600 BC that blew what was previously a circular island. The name of it, I forget, it was like something, you know, ring, like circle. The original name of Santorini meant circular island, and then this volcanic eruption just blew it to pieces. Most of the residents, fortunately, apparently left the island right before this happened, but the view looking down into the crater from the top of the cliffs at Fira and Ia is just, you know, one of the most incredible views in the world. And then there are a number of Greek islands that I want to go to that sound especially interesting, especially in the North Aegean Sea. Thasos, Lemnos, and Lesvos all sound very, very unique, not the typical, you know, Cycladic island landscapes. And so there is a certain similarity, especially the islands right next to each other, and then there is also the variety. But for me, it's always interesting to arrive on a new Greek island and see the familiarity of, you know, the port town, the classic style of construction and everything, but then each one is different. So for me, then it really just never gets old. All right, let's get down to these ancient ruins. So these crumbling buildings are just all over the place here. This was not exactly a village because they're so spread far apart, but, you know, a settlement, and appears to be, you know, the same era. Very, very curious about when. My guess would be like 18th, 19th centuries. So just taking a quick look here, and then we will move much deeper into the past. So a concrete roof there with this like rebar. So that says, you know, it's not too old. But why are they all just totally crumbled down? Earthquake seems like the most likely explanation. Palamari of Skyros. The existence at this specific area of a settlement of the early and middle Bronze Age, that is to say, the 3rd and 1st centuries of the 2nd millennium BC, was confirmed. From the beginning, the potential of the site was evident from the type, size, and quality of buildings, the multiform pottery, as well as other findings such as metal objects, which implied contacts with the big islands of the North Aegean, the Cyclades, Evia, and continental Greece. Okay, here we are. Skyros. Hora, the main town. Molos, where I'm staying, right there. There we are, Palamari. So I'll just really quickly recap my trip in Greece so far. Landed in Athens at the Athens International Airport about there. Rented a car, drove here to Marathon, where the Battle of Marathon took place in the 5th century BC. Then drove here over a bridge onto Evia Island, stayed in the largest town there, and then drove down here, caught a ferry from here to Andros, stayed there 3 nights, caught another ferry to Tinos, stayed there, I think it was 3 nights as well, 3 or 4 nights, and then ferry back to Rafina, and then flight direct from Athens to Skyros, and then in 2 days flight from here to Thessaloniki. So I mentioned the North Aegean islands, Thassos, also there's Samothrace, sounds really interesting, and then Lemnos and Lesvos. So that is not a Greek island. I think it's called Gokgiada, something like that. Excuse me. Do you know the name of this is the Turkish island, yeah?
Yes, it's Imrose. This is Imrose.
Imrose.
Yeah, and Tenedos, this little one.
And what's Gokgiada? Something like this. Gokgiada? No, it's different.
Kiava.
Gokgiada, something like this. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Okay, but Imrose. This is a Greek name, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be Greek islands, but in 1920, with the exchange of populations,
I see.
They turned Turkish, and
yeah.
So they belong to Turkey now.
Only this one and this one?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So here are the ruins out here. I think that Gökçeada, however I'm, mispronouncing that, is roughly the Turkish name for the island of Imrose. Very nice looking beach. There it says, ancient fortification, defensive row of stones. I guess the remains of some sort of a wall. So, as the sign in there said, the 1st to 3rd centuries of the 2nd millennium BC. So in other words, more than 3,000 years ago, going back to like 3,000 to 3,200 years ago was when this was occupied, I guess. So what he was mentioning there was the Greek-Turkish population exchange, which occurred in the 1920s when basically they decided, okay, all the Turks in Greece are going to have to go to Turkey, all the Greeks in Turkey are going to have to go to Greece in order to, seize the mixing of the populations. The reason that that happened is, of course, a lot of old history. The invasion of the Ottomans, the conquering of Constantinople in 1453, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, and that conquering of Constantinople ended the Byzantine Empire and the Ottomans took over. And then in the coming centuries after that, the Ottomans were very aggressively trying to take more Greek land and to invade mainland Greece, etc. And they succeeded in that to a great extent and occupied Greece for a long time, and then eventually left. But as a result of, centuries of the battles, etc., between the Greeks and the Turks, then the populations got mixed up. Up until the 1920s, there were entire towns on, Anatolia, the Turkish peninsula, that were Greek towns. I visited one, which is now a complete ghost town. Not a single person lives there. Very interesting to walk through, but finally they decided to, just kind of end the whole mixing of the cultures and forced the, people to move. Okay, well, that is kind of it as far as what specifically I had in mind to see today. I'm thinking that I will keep the southern part of the island to explore tomorrow. I do want to explore a bit more, but I think that I will just do it random style. Try to find a nice beach or two and see what else we come across. And so here you go as far as the island of Imrose, or Imrose, the island off the coast of Turkey that used to be Greek and became Turkish in the course of the population exchange. So here you go. Imrose, officially Gökçeada, however you say that correctly. I must be saying it really wrong probably, but since 29th July 1970. So although the island became Turkish in the 1920s, I guess, then they officially changed the name in 1970. It is the largest island of Turkey, located in Çanakkale province. It is located in the northeastern Aegean Sea at the entrance of Samos Bay and has the westernmost point of Turkey.